I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way, helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Well, I got perspective.
Well, hello, and thank you for joining me. This evening, we are going to read some wonderful stories that was sent to us by you guys, our viewers. Some of the contents that you're going to be seeing tonight are from emails and messages that have been sent to me, all of which that I have found very interesting. Now, over the next few days, we're going to start doing that where we're not only just reading what I glean, but also what you guys bring to the forefront, because you can't have all eyes everywhere at the same time. The only one who has the ability to do that is God. And so, with that said, tonight we are going to share some news from some of you viewers. Unfortunately, some of them were video, but the topics that you've sent, I had to glean actual news reports that I can read here. And so that's a good thing. We have a couple of different things that are going on right now. The one story that really, really struck me as very unique. Well, there's actually a couple, but one story that struck me unique was one that had some dealings with President Trump and Israel. That's right. And it sort of pieced together some of the things that, hello, Kathy, and hello, Anarchy Television. How are you? And so it sort of pieced together some of the things that I had already been peeking at. And this one story that I got tonight, it gives me pause, because once I put this story that I got together with some of the other pieces that I had and just couldn't figure out what to do with them, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So with that said, what I am going to get into right now is the story that was sent to us from one of our viewers, and that is dealing with, I'm not sure if you guys even heard about this, but it looks as if they have some type of another inexpensive way to fight the coronavirus. So with that said, I think we should get right into that story, because I think it's really important, and possibly a lot of other people really do want to know about it. And so we're going to get into that right about now. So let's go ahead and add that there. And yeah, I think you guys are going to find it pretty unique. Apparently, there is a medication, and this medication has been used for quite some time. The story that was sent to us says that, and it is now. Let me tell you. Of course, the story is sent to us from one of our viewers, but I had to convert the story into finding an actual, tangible news source to read from. But I do want to thank the viewer who sent this in. They haven't given me permission to use their name, but I do want to thank them very much. So apparently, there is a medication. And the story reads, the evidence is in that ivermectin, listen to this, folks, ivermectin prevents COVID-19. Following an observational study, researchers call for large-scale trials around the world while multiple vaccines are undergoing clinical trials across the globe. An observational trial in Bangladesh has found ivermectin, a cheap and widely available drug, effective in preventing COVID-19. Now, this did not say that it was effective in helping while they're sick. No, it said effective in preventing COVID-19. The story goes on to say that the FDA-approved broad-spectrum anti-parasitic drug was, which earlier was largely touted as effective in treating moderate levels of coronavirus-positive patients, is now found to be more effective as a preventative drug. In its latest issue, the European Journal of Medical and Health Sciences published a study carried out in Bangladesh aimed at determining the effectiveness of ivermectin when administered as a preventative drug for COVID-19. Now, this EJMED, a peer-reviewed bi-monthly international journal, carried the study findings on December the 15th, saying that ivermectin, an FDA-approved, safe, cheap, and widely available drug, should be subjected to large-scale trials all over the world to ascertain its effectiveness as pre-exposure prophylactics. So as a pre-exposure prophylactics for COVID-19. It goes on to tell us that Mohammed Tariq Alim of Bangladesh Medical College Hospital, who led a 13-strong team mentioned in the EJMED article, told Dakar Tribune, which is where we've gleaned this story from. Pretty hard to find this information in the U.S. other than a few YouTubers. Like I said, one of our guests of the show or friends of the show actually shared this via email to me. But I did find this, and it is online. But it did come from an Indian, believe it or not, news source. So there's that. But the Dhaka Tribune on Saturday said that the team administered ivermectin dosages 4 times, 1 each per month, to 58 volunteers. And during the time period between May and August, this period, they found that only 4 of them later suffered from mild COVID-19. Now, on the other hand, he did add that as many as 44 volunteers out of 60 others who chose not to take the tablet during the same time suffered from COVID-19. Alim's team conducted the observational study with 118 healthcare providers enrolling purposely. The subjects were divided into experimental and controlled groups, and the experimental group received an oral monthly dose of ivermectin at 12 milligrams for 4 full months. Both groups were exposed to COVID positive patients admitted in the Bangladesh Medical College Hospital during the course of the study, and the symptomatic subjects were evaluated by physical examinations, and the results showed that 73.3%, or 44 out of 60 subjects in the controlled group, were positive for COVID-19, whereas 6.9%, 4 out of 58 of the experimental group, were diagnosed with COVID. Now, while the first group of subjects did not take the ivermectin, the other group took the tablets of ivermectin orally. They took it orally as tablets. Now, I want to tell you that this drug has been highly used specifically for, get this, believe it or not, parasites. That's right. So this drug has been used for quite some time, dealing specifically with parasites. Did you know that? Had you ever heard of that? Yeah, parasites. So that's exactly what this drug had been used for. Let me suffer. I'm not taking it. Jay, Jason said, "Let me suffer. I am not taking it." I know that's right. He said he's not having nothing to do with it, that he's not interested. But with that said, yes, we're live. But with that said, I think it's quite amazing that a drug that was used for a parasite in pretty much they state that this particular parasite it travels by a fly in Southeast Asia and different parts of Africa, and that this hello, how are you, Teresa, Old Head Deuce, how is everybody? David Smith. So there is a disease that actually is caused a parasitic disease that's caused by a fly, and so it's called on. I don't want to say this wrong. Onchocerciasis. Onchocerciasis is an actual disease that is a viral disease from a bug, from parasites. And so the parasites are in the flies bite the host, and then it does some pretty terrible things to the body. And there's also another name for it. And I think it's called river flu or river something. Anyway, it's a pretty ugly disease. But what I will say is that as I looked at this, I thought that, gee whiz, if this is inexpensive, what are they going to do? What are they're possibly going to do exactly what they did with a couple of other things, and that's demonize it, right? They're not going to want to use it. But you would think that anytime somebody has had something inexpensive to use, that would be the try. That would be what we would do. But I don't think they're going to do it because I really don't think that's the goal. I think what the goal is to, force everybody to go into another direction. But they went on to say in the study, the pioneering drug ivermectin is a dihydro derivative of avermectin, which originated solely from a single microorganism, Streptomyces avermelitis. I hope I said that right. For all of you who are in the medical field, please forgive me. And it was isolated at the Kitasoto Institute, Tokyo, Japan, by Satoshi Omura from Japanese soil. And since then, it has had an astounding impact in improving the lives and welfare of billions across the globe. Two of such accomplishments being its use in combating the world's most disfiguring, stigmatized disease. And that was the one we just got through saying, which is the onchocerciasis, as well as a lymphatic filariasis. That's amazing. I can't even say that, but I understand what they mean. It goes on to say that the study has shed a ray of light portraying ivermectin's astounding impact on preventing transmission and contraction of COVID-19 in the most vulnerable setting of a hospital among the healthcare workers. And moreover, the experimental group did not complain of any side effects or breach of compliance regarding the dosing schedule. However, we acknowledge that this trial has limitations, and the study was conducted on a small scale with a limited number of subjects being monitored over a period of time. Okay, well, at least y'all did some studies. How about that? At least you guys did some studying, but we're stuck with, I guess, a few things that really don't have any study, right? Because they are using the humans here in the United States and possibly other countries as a way to test. And so that's not necessarily good. Now, I know that you guys all heard about you may have heard one of the other stories that was sent to us today was about it's really a bad situation. It's over there in Yemen. And you remember the other night that we put up a story dealing specifically with the bombing that happened in Syria. Well, I'm going to tell you what my impression is. of all of the stuff that's going on right now. I honestly believe that there is going to be an attempt for us to just keep this president, because if enough stuff pops off overseas where we have to join in before the 6th, I digress, before the 20th or the 21st of January, I believe that he's going to possibly stay in. It looks like things are inching into that vein. It's almost like something is teasing the powers that be, and that is not necessarily good. So, with that said, it does appear that this next story is is a little close for comfort for most of us. And so, what I will say is, this ain't nice. It ain't nice at all. So, this story, let me share this with you. I'm gonna share this one. I'm gonna share. I want you guys to see it right here. All right. Now, one of our friends of the channel sent the story to me, and I thought it was amazing because somebody else just earlier today, who does not mind me sharing because they're, one of the people that work with us on the channel, and that is Ronnie Mann, had sent a story just earlier today. And then I opened the email, which I don't open all the time, you guys. So let's just do a little bit of house cleaning. I don't open them every day. I open them every 2 days, every 3 days, because prior to now, there was not really a lot of mail, because a lot of people didn't have this email address, which is Felicia@FeliciaLockhart.com. And so for those of you who have now started to send me mail, I appreciate you, and I'm going to now check it daily. But prior to today, when Ron Vroman sent me a message that said, "You don't check your email," I want to thank Ron for that, because I needed that admonishment. So there's going to be 2 thank yous. There was another person. If you guys remember the other night, I mentioned that my uncle had been shot in the back in Mississippi. Well, somebody said to me in the chat, and I forgot that I had even shared that with you guys. Someone said to me in a comment, I think it was Diane, and she says, "I'm sorry about your uncle." And so I read it today, and I was like, while I was working, I was like, my uncle? I didn't have an uncle that died. Yeah, back in the 60s, I did. And so I had to apologize there. I was like, oh no, gee whiz, I forgot what I was talking about that night. But yes, thank you so much for that, Diane. But I think my point then was more so the fact that in that day, it was more accepted that something like that would happen. He passed in the 60s, and he was my mother's oldest brother. And so I was born in 64. The only pain that I know about that particularly was the pain that my birth mother suffered when she would share the story with us. And I was born in 64. And so obviously he passed a year before I was born, according to my mom, who is now deceased. So thank you so very much, Diane, for reaching out and giving me your condolences. And I apologize, because I was thinking, my uncle died just recently. And I forgot that I had shared that bit of my life with you. So thank you for that. But Ron Vroman did give me one nice kick in the shins, and he says, hey, I'm trying to send you messages. And he sent a message. And so I want to thank him for that. So because of that, I now see the importance of making sure that I check that professional email at least every day. And so I'm going to do that. And it'll probably be every day around 3 p.m. that I'll check it. And I'm saying the time frame so that when folks do send things, that it's not that you feel like you're being ignored, because I don't want anybody to feel like that. And so I thank him for giving me that kick in the shins. And with that, I will read this next story that is pretty shocking. And this is why I say that I feel that it's going to be, you hear how they keep saying, it's going to be a dark winter. It's going to be a dark winter. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Yeah. All right. Gotcha. This is what I think is going on, folks. So I'm going to show you this story. And you all are, look at all the stuff they got on this page, though. Sheezo Pete's. Okay, so what happened is three massive blasts rock Aden Airport in Yemen as their entire new government members arrive. 3 massive explosions rocked the Aden Airport in southern Yemen on Wednesday as local officials were gathered to receive a plane carrying the new power sharing government coming from Saudi Arabia, a security official said. They also go on to say the three coordinated explosions struck the main halls of the airport when scores of local officials were gathering to receive the government members, causing an unknown number of casualties in the local security. And the local security source said, let me make this page a little smaller so that we can read the whole thing. Thanks to all of these little ads that are on here, you can hardly read everything. She's Pete's. It just does, all it does is make this even smaller. Okay, so nonetheless, someone spoke, the local security source spoke on the condition of anonymity, that did not want anybody to know. But apparently, these officials were there to receive the new government members. All right. And all the members, all of the new members were transferred to the new presidential palace. Following the blast, the source added. Now, I understand that not only did that happen, but once they got where they were going, there were more explosions. That's what I understand. And with that said, that's a lot of chaos to go on in that region. So that means that something, hello, David, and hello, David. That means that something is really brewing. That does. And so with that said, I want to thank the our family member who sent this to me via email, and I appreciate that. There's somebody else in the chat tonight that sent me an unbelievable story, and I want to let you know that I saw the story. It is off the chain, and that is a story that I'll have to wait for my brother Lee Hill of Lee Red Nation to join me, because that story is directly in his vein. He deals specifically with Via Mara and all of that stuff. And the story that was sent to me is one that I am not well versed with. I leave all of that to my brother, Lee. So with that said, I want to thank the person who's in the chat right now that sent the story. And wow, that is an amazing story. Now, you guys, here is another piece here. And I'm a little concerned because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little concerned to even share what I had prior to this story coming to me, because it's that deep. The story that I'm about to read may not seem on face value as heavy or deep, right? But the accompanying information that I have had for about a month and didn't know what to do with it because there was like a piece that was missing. Once I connect that piece that I had with this piece that was sent to me via email, it's very concerning. And I don't think I don't know. I'm just going to have to put it out there and I'll tell you guys what I saw. I won't even show it because I don't want to get myself involved in no mess, but I will say this. There is something afoot, right? It is. It truly, honestly is. So I'm going to go on ahead and share the next story with you guys. And yeah, that part. Yeah. This is amazing. So this one here is about a rabbi blessing Trump as the king. Okay. Now, the funny part about this story, I'm going to go back over here, was that the story was written November 13th, 2019. Okay? This piece of information that I received last month after the election. 1 year after this story happened, a year after this story happened, I, without knowing about this story, got a hold of some other information that happened 1 year later. I'm going to tell you how good God is, because this story came and someone else sent another piece of it. So I had one piece, somebody else sent another piece, and then there was the following piece. And I want to tell you guys that right now, I'm even more convinced of the time period that we are in, that inside of me, I'm literally trembling. I really honestly feel like this is seriously, we will be headed into some amazing stuff, right? So this story from 2019 on November 13th. I wish I could show you. I'm going to show you. And Father, I just pray for my safety. I just pray, Father, that you will just cover me because okay, I'm just going to tell you guys. This is what it is. So there is a chance that he has been indoctrinated in a very high up party, a group, a club. And it happened a year from the day that this blessing, Trump as king, happened. So, what I have from last month matches up to 1 year after this happened. That shows he's in something that he probably shouldn't have his rump in, but he's in. And so, this says that the rabbi is blessing Trump as king, shows that he is the final president before the return of the Davidic dynasty. Now, the thing that I have says pretty much the same thing, but it ain't from them. It may be from their homeboys or their brothers, but this is like a little placard or a little card saying the same thing, that they have welcomed him into something. And this was 1 year after. Now, the other thing that was sent was how much this stuff is going around right now about what happened in Nashville. Now, what happened in Nashville happened in some very prominent places biblically. That is what Ronnie sent to me today. And that's what somebody else sent to me today. And that is ironic because I had other little pieces to that. Do you see how this all works together? So I'm going to read some of these before we get into this story. I'm going to read some of the stuff in the chat, and I'm going to go back really far. And I'd like for all of my mods, I've been having some spammers. And so I just want to say publicly that all of my mods do have the right to remove anybody who's spamming us and just like coming in being mean and nasty like they were. We read the Psalms a little bit ago, and there was somebody in there cracking a lot of jokes. And it's just that was not appropriate. While reading the word of God, you in here going off, leading some crazy crap in here. So all of the people who do have those beautiful, lovely little wrenches, please block people who are being nasty, who are being rude, who are making off color remarks and statements, because this really isn't the place or the time for that. And I understand that, I'm not for everybody, and I get that. And there are people who, they get their jollies off doing that, and that's okay. But I would just prefer that if somebody comes over, you guys just block them or do whatever you feel is necessary. When you right click your mouse, right click it or touch or hover over that person's name that's leaving all kinds of mean, nasty stuff, and just block them or time out. But you have that option to do that. So we do have, I love your eyeballs. You always put these eyeballs, Anarchy Television. And then I also want to say hello to Kathy. How are you? It's good to see you. Jason, it's always good to see you as well, my brother. David says, nice job, dear. Thank you very much, David. We sure appreciate you. Oh, yes, we are live. Thanks again. And then Anarchy Television, problem, reaction, solution. Yeah, it's all about the Hegelian dialect. That's exactly what it is. Thank you for recognizing that. Old Head Deuce, how are you? How are you? How are you? And then let's see, Jason Buchanan says, let me suffer. I'm not taking it. That was funny. Teresa, hello, everyone. And then we've also, Buddy, he calls me Buddy. Hello, Buddy. And then we have, see, what is this? Shim Sham Balam. Hard pass on the vax. Okay. Okay, exactly. Sherry B. Hey, I might fall asleep. Y'all, I'm tired. I am too, Sherry B. I totally get it. And then Shim Sham Balam says Billy Gates controlled GMO mosquitoes. Yes, did you know that? Oh my goodness. And he released them like a couple of times. He just did it recently. And then a couple of years ago, he did it and started them in California. I found that very unique. Follow the money. Who profits? Profits from Big Pharma. Exactly. And David says, ah, good call. I can play a doctor on TV. All right, very good. And we have, sorry to hear that, Lockhart. Well, that's a long time ago. And I'm very glad that Diane reminded me, because a lot of times, if I'm sharing and I'm sharing in a different vein, I'll be honest and tell you that sometimes if I'm sharing in ministry, I will forget some of the things that I say. And I think it was just, and I think that possibly is two-pronged for me. Part of it is that I forget if it's something that was harmful to me. And I learned that as I got older, that there were pieces and chunks of my life that I forgot, but my family had to remind me. So that's letter A. B, sometimes if I'm flowing in the spirit of the presence of God is using me, then he will say things and then I will share things with you. And so it could be one of two things, but yes, that was a sad situation. It was my mama's brother, but it never made me distrust Mississippi, because I like Mississippi and I think Mississippi is a beautiful place. I really do. I was born there, and I think it's got a lot of beautiful, beautiful attributes. All right, so we have didn't some diplomats die? Yes, all of them did. The folks that were coming there, the new team of people, they all did. And then when they didn't get them there, they got them when they all got to the rest. So what they did is they got there to the airport, they saved some of them died. They got the ones from the airport, took them into the building that they were going into, and then there were more blasts there. So these blasts were done, and they were done in a way that they wanted to let somebody know that you're not wanted and you're not needed, because we're going to do what we're going to do, period. So that's not good. Steve Willis, hello, how are you? Jizo Pete's, LOL. And then a war of the powers that sold should not be. Absolutely, they should not be. I tried this new thing because my friend girl, Black Spring, tried these new ones, and they're just so blinding. I wear these things that have the little bitty bubble under the bottom of my glasses, my bifocals, and they're sort of hard to see these. But anyway, Shim Sham Bamalam. Happy New Year to everyone here, being blessed by this channel. Thank you so very much. Copy that, David Smith says. And we have a load of people who are here this evening. I think I've read the majority of your earlier comments, and I'm very happy that you're here. So the last pope kind of stuff. Now let's talk about this, because I'm not sure if you guys follow. Everybody should. If you don't follow Headlines with a Voice, did you guys see the other day she put up a story and it was about the Pope? It had his red shoes on the cover of the video. And she was saying that according to some ideas out here, that he could conceivably retire. Did anybody see that? If he retires the same way the one before him retired, they're generally making space for stuff. They're making space for people. Okay. Now, Anarchy Television says that Trump has admitted he has an allegiance to Israel. Man, let me tell you, this stuff right here is a lot deeper than we could ever imagine, because the story that we see on the screen here, we're going to get into this. Let's just get into it. But anyway, you guys, yeah, we got a lot of gossip to get caught up on. All right, so the rabbi blessing Trump as king shows he is the final president before the return of the Davidic dynasty. Again, the story was written November 13th, 2019, and it's regarding the U.S.-Israel relations. It was written by a Mr. Berkowitz. All right. So it goes on to say that President Trump attended an Orthodox Jewish fundraising event at the Intercontinental Hotel in Manhattan on that Tuesday. Oh my gosh, the dates are amazing, you guys. 400 Orthodox Jews participated in the event, contributing an estimated $100,000 each. for the honor of paying a personal tribute to the commander-in-chief. Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, and I hope I didn't tear up his name, Jacobson, recited the blessing, said upon seeing a non-Jewish ruler. Now, this, of course, we are to read from here to here. And it says, "Blessed art thou, O Lord, our God, King of the universe." Now, of course, you know, there's not going to be a lot of stuff in here because that's not, you know, Lord, our God. They're not supposed to say it. Okay, so great. That's it. So, King of the universe, that you may have shared part of our love and glory and compassion with a human being who maintains the honor of every innocent person and every Jew forever. Though it was doubtful that the president understood the full import of the blessing, Trump appeared to be impressed at the ritual focused on his honor. The crowd responded with an enthusiastic amen and chants of 4 more years. Now, I don't know if I can play this because it looks as if it's somebody else's YouTube when I do this. But the story is actually from the news. So I'm going to come back and look at you guys and find out if there's anybody that knows if I play this, would that be the same thing as playing somebody else's stuff? Because you guys already know I already got in trouble and stuff. So is it, you guys? I mean, somebody tell me, because I totally want to know. Because if not, I really want to play the story for you. Hey, Ed. Hello, hello. So I don't know. You guys, should I play this? Do you think I could play it, or will it get me in trouble? Because it's very telling. I will say that. Oh, how about I do this? If I can't play it, hey, Ron, thank you so much for the video, for sending me the message. And I just shared it with everybody that I'm going to go in that message box every day now around 3:00, because standardly I was checking it a couple of times, a week, or maybe once every other week or so, because there wasn't a lot of traffic. But to your point today, I want to thank you, Ron Vroman, for reminding me to please check it daily, and I will. As a matter of fact, some of the stories that we're reading today, we gleaned from the company's email, so that's a good thing. But with that said, do you guys think that I should play it? You have to break every 15 seconds. Oh, I do? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it now. Okay, let's see. Break it every 15 seconds. I think I can do that. All right. All right, so let's go. Let me see if I can share the sound. I think I'm sharing the sound right now. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Could you guys hear that a little bit? I want to make sure that the sound is on, because he's really hamming it up here. He's really hamming it up. And I hope that you guys can, let me look at my other device to see if you guys are talking to me, because this right here doesn't give it to me fast enough. So you guys having a great, great night. I know that I am. Hi, you have to give your opinion. Oh, okay, every 15 seconds. Okay, with commentary probably. Yes, I agree with you guys. Okay, that sounds good. Oh, don't do it. David, don't do it, or you can't hear it. David, ad unum tristis. Tell you what, you guys, I'm just going to read it. All right. So basically, this big festival that you're seeing here is for him, right? And so this right here was $1,000 a plate. This event was $1,000 a plate, and it was in Manhattan. So it says here, from here, it says the crowd responded with an enthusiastic amen and chants 4 more years. The Talmud states that it is a mitzvah, Torah commandment, for a Jew to go out of his way to see rulers and kings, whether they are Jewish or non-Jewish. But there is a dispute among halashek, or Torah law. And again, if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, please forgive me. Torah law authorities as to whether this blessing should be recited with the complete name of God in these times upon seeing a ruler who is not a king. It is significant that when the rabbi recited the blessing upon seeing Donald Trump, he said the complete and explicit name of God in Hebrew. Rabbi Nachman Kahana, a prominent spiritual leader in Jerusalem, did not agree with Rabbi Jacobson with his decision to use the name of God in this instance, saying, quote, every rabbi can make his own ruling and Shabbat has their own methods and rulings. But what is for sure is that the halacha is not influenced by political considerations, end quote. Now, this was explained by Rabbi Kahana. Now, he also went on to say that it is like science and should be the results of careful consideration of the facts and the current situation. He goes on, the blessing is intended to be recited upon seeing a king. And there are significant differences between a president and a king, as we are witnessing right now. A president can be impeached as the result of political whims. A king cannot be impeached, he says. This is learned out of the real king Hashem, God, literally the name, it says here in parentheses, which is the source of the king's authority. Hashem's authority is not derived from other men. He cannot be impeached, and we don't vote for God. Nonetheless, Rabbi Kahana emphasized that Trump deserves a great deal of respect for his service as president. He says, quote, people should be judged by their actions, and he has certainly done several important things. This is the opposite of Obama, he says, who was praised even though he did a disservice to the office. Rabbi Yeshayahu, there we go, Yeshayahu Hollander suggested that the blessing should have been recited with the name of God. Now, though it is true that Trump is not technically a king, but he is the most powerful ruler in the world, Rabbi Hollander told the Breaking Israel News. In that sense, Trump is more of a king than other kings. Rabbi Yosef Berger, the rabbi of King David's tomb on Mount Zion and the descendant of King David, agreed, noting that Trump is explicitly not a king and therefore not suited to be the focus of the blessing. He related to a story in which a man came to Israel claiming to be the king of Africa. He was interviewed by the rabbis, who asked if he could command someone to be killed without a court. The man answered in the affirmative. So the rabbis recited the blessing upon seeing a king. It later became clear the man was a fraud. Okay, so we're going to stop there. But what I will do is let me give you guys the link that you can. This is going to be a huge, fat, chunky link, though, guys. I think I'll do it like that. I don't know. If you want to carry it along home, you definitely can. Okay, so now, if we consider that this is a long link, I don't even know if it'll even fit. But if we look at all of that, right? Let me tell you that what I have, and let me see if I can look at it here, because I do want to show it to you guys if I'm able to show it. And then maybe I'll just turn the video private. Who knows? I think that's possibly what I'll have to do. Here's the screenshot right here, right? And it's opening. And hopefully it will open, waiting for clients to google.com. All right, there we are, opening. All right, so this right here, as soon as it opens, I hope it opens. I hope I'm not having any problems with it opening. Doesn't look like it wants to open. Well, that may be a blessing too. Oh gosh, you guys, I really wish that you could see this, because this right here is showing him literally posing for the camera, and they're welcoming him into this gigantic organization. And this organization is quite creepy. And yeah, on that organization's little paper, it's showing him as, here you guys, I'm gonna show you. Okay, let's see. Let me share this with you guys. I'll be there. Okay. Oh, I already got it. Let me open it. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, do you guys see that? Can you see it? It's really big. Okay, hold on. Can you guys see that? It's part of my email. But can you guys see that? That's sort of creepy, right? I think it is creepy. But here it is right here again. Let me show it to you guys. It's this one. And maybe I can make it bigger. I hope I can. But it says that they are welcoming him into a society. And it's, you guys, this could be a hoax. It may not even be real. But the dates are lined up with 1 year after the dates of the blessing that was done online. Now, I don't know what you think about that, but could you guys see that? I wish that we could talk to each other, because that is pretty creepy. I don't know whether you guys know what that said, and I don't know whether you guys could see it well, but that was not good. That was not good at all. Yeah. Did anybody see it? I hope you saw it. I know who I want to ask if they saw it. I want to see if David Harris saw it. I want to ask if Steve Willis saw it. I want to ask if Ed Whitson is still here, if he saw it, if Maynard L saw it. I want to know if anybody saw it. If you did, and you could read that, put a 1 in the chat or something. Not really. It basically said that they were welcoming him into the SC Society. That's what it said. And it said that he was the last president. That's exactly what it said. The event took place last month. A year, pretty much around the same time, from the time that this story happened in November of 2019, and that was about the 13th of November 2019. That little thing that I just showed you guys, that actually was something that was from this year, 1 year later. Now, to the story that we were talking about with regards to Antioch. Antioch has a 1 year period in it. It was from one date to the next date was Antioch. You guys, I'm telling you, this cat is really, really up to something no good. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't want to dig in it any deeper, but I will tell you one thing. Something is not good. There is something that is really rotten, and there are some flies in the buttermilk, and I don't think that they're safe. I just don't. The last Trump. Yeah. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, OMG, that's not cool. There was a meeting with the rabbis and Trump where they told him his numbers matched the Messiah. That's from Maynard. Yes. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it's like, yeah, I don't believe that, I don't believe that he's going to be gone anywhere. If there is, based on the story that we just saw with what went on over there in Yemen, based on the story that we saw with what just happened out in Syria, with all of the garbage that's going on there, I believe that some of that instability in that region is going to have a rippling effect, undoubtedly, on the world. And it is. We know that. We already know that it's just impossible that it would not, right? But I do believe that in as much as we've been able to see, so the purpose is to lock everybody down, to keep everybody under control, right? And once you get that control and once you get everybody all locked down, then you're not going to look at, and we're going to tie this into the ivermectin story. That ivermectin is not going to get used because it will not serve their purpose. Their purpose is to have control right now for what they plan to do. And again, I think that it's important for us to remember that November the 6th is what, next week? So it's the same guy who cannot stop the state of emergency, the federal state of emergency, is the same guy who's going to offer everybody to come out to Washington and pretty much get wild, as he says. There's a purpose for all of this stuff. And Monograph just hooked up something early this morning. And irony is it's dealing with that thing, Antioch, again. And he didn't say Antioch, but what he did start talking about was back 5 years ago, there was a post done by the daughter, and the daughter mentioned something, but the person that actually responded to the story that she was reposting about was from Franklin, Tennessee. I'm not sure if you guys saw that or not. Okay, so that means that there is something that is going on, and it is all tying in. Look at all of the references to the Messiah in all of these little bitty things. From the story from last year to now, and then if you look at the reference between Antioch 1 year, the 1 year balance, there's a scripture that talks about 1 year to the day. All right. Okay, so did you see that, Maynard? So this morning, so now it's all tying in. So both sides of the coin wear the same tarnish. Exactly. Their patina is not as beautiful as they'd like for you to think that it is. But this right here is very unique. This is a very unique situation. This is. It's just, yeah. So with that said, I found that very amazing. And I'm sorry that you guys could not see that little photo that I had. I can tell you that it does say some pretty troubling things. It says that he joined an organization, and this organization is supposed to be a real big to-do, far beyond the people that we've seen local, or that we probably, I mean, there's some pretty heavyweight people in that organization. And it declared him the same way that the story did with the rabbi, as the king, as not even the king, but it said the last president of the United States, the same way the story did with the rabbi that blessed him. Yeah, that's what it said. But it's a year apart, 1 whole year apart. And to Monograph's point, showing that from 2015, and then just recently the same city. And we've got all these names. We've got Antioch. We've got Lebanon, Tennessee. We've got all of these names. And don't think it's strange. Don't think it's strange. I don't know what type of surprise that he has for everybody on the 6th, but I don't think it's what people are expecting. I really don't. And if I were anybody, I would not show my rump out there. Don't you take y'all's rumps out there. No, none of us need to go out there. We need to stand by and just watch, because I believe that if he's sitting up here boasting it on the tweeters, it's not a good thing. But you cannot stop you're going to let us go into another president still under the state of emergency, federal state of emergency. Okay. All right. No problem. I think that's sort of special. But I don't think that we ever came out of the first one from 9/11, to be honest with you, if I can remember correctly. I don't remember us ever having that lifted. Anybody in the chat want to take a jab at that? Has that ever been lifted? I don't think so. To my memory, I don't remember them ever saying, okay, you guys, it's over. we can come out now. And hence we're taking off our shoes right now to this day. And I truly believe it that if we had complained about the doggone shoes coming off our feet at the airport, we would not be wearing these things on the faces. I ain't wearing one anyway. But I do believe that if we had complained about us taking off our shoes corporately, our shoes corporately, that our shoes would not have to be taken off. I do believe that. I do believe that. And I think that it's because we've been complicit with all the stuff that they are trying to do. So that story, along with the blasts, I mean, they took every one of those cats out. They didn't leave nobody behind. And if they did, they didn't put that in the story. They did not put that in the story. And Steve Willis says, actually, there is a problem. It's never been lifted. Never will again. You see, I didn't think it had been, Steve. I didn't think it had been lifted either. I thought that it was, I think we're just like adding on to them, like an issue on top of an issue. That's exactly what I thought. I didn't think that it had been lifted. You see, so that's not good at all. Yeah, that part. So what do you do now? I mean, gee willikers, it's like we've all been hornswoggled. We've all been hornswoggled. Yeah, we have. We have. And so it's okay as long as we can see it. As long as you can see you've been hornswoggled, can't nobody trick you. Yeah, that part. Can't nobody trick you if you know that you've been hornswoggled. If you telling them, okay, I can see you. I see you. I see you. You cannot hornswoggle me. You've been on alert since, let's see, what does it say? I've been on alert since October 23rd, 1983. Why? October 23rd, 1983. Tell us why, Margaret Walter. Tell us why. Yeah, hornswoggled. You can't hornswoggle me if I don't let you hornswoggle me. Now, if I know you hornswoggling me, then, and I let you keep going, well, maybe I like a little hornswoggle every now and then. Don't judge me. Maybe I like just a little touch of hornswoggle. Just a little. So there's that. But with all that said, you guys, I just thought that it was I think that was the year of Reagan, wasn't it, David Smith? The machine barracks. Let me get right here. The Marine barracks. Oh, in Beirut. Oh, in Beirut. Okay. We all have such memories of things that we've experienced as a country. And it's amazing. We did a show a while back. We did a video here. I did on how resilient how resilient we are as a nation and how we always come together. And I think the powers that be know that we have that about us, that we will come together. And so they made sure that everything was divisive this time. Everything they did to us in the past made us come together. But this particular thing, they attempted to make it a whole lot more divisive. I've been against this BS since 1978. Don't go to Washington. Let's see. There you go. He's been against this bull feces since 1978. I'm right along with you. All right, let's see. Don't go to Washington. Don't go to Washington. It won't make any difference anyway. I agree. I totally agree. And hello, Valiant One. How are you? It's so good to see you. Glad you're here. And Margaret says, obviously, we saw that already. But here's the funny one, hornswoggle. I'm glad you like my words. Hornswoggled. So, folks, I appreciate you guys for being here. I just wanted to come and read those, but there's some more stuff that we're going to connect the dots on. But I think the biggest one that got me was this whole Trump as the king thing. And then a year later, this other thing, and then all the Antioch stuff and all of that. That is something else. That's something else. Let's see. David Smith says, love these heavenly connections. And the continuance was, been finding them a lot lately, kind of like how I got here. Aw, well, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad that you are a part of our chat. I want to thank everybody who has been coming in. And here we go. I see some good news coming here. Every time he come, he got something. What you got to say? I'm from the government and I'm here to help. You know what? Wasn't that Reagan? I think it was Reagan that said that, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was him. It was most assuredly him. I liked his wife. You know that I think his wife as a woman was one of the more feminine vice well president's wives. I think that Onassis was as well. This is church. Amen. Um, but you know what? I think that President Reagan had a very um, powerful wife because she was sort of humble, but she was very smart. She didn't take much mess, but she did protect her husband. I like that about her. And then, of course, I liked. I think everybody liked Onassis. Everybody liked her. Everybody did. So, you guys, I'm a little sleepy now, as you can tell, but I do appreciate all of you. And let's see, Victoria, Australia, Daniel Andrews Premier is a Satanist communist, must wear a mask everywhere except in your home. My God. You know, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I just, this to me is so odd. I don't think we could have ever imagined this, but let me stop. Yes, we could, because they were giving us signs all the way back with rappers, with the masks, as it relates to masks. They were giving us signs with the rappers, and I think one of them was called what is his name? Was it Fabulous in a mask? I think it was Fabulous. And his daughter. I'm looking it up. And it was some a long time ago, and they both had on a mask. Wow. Now it's not now when you put it in, even with his name, all they're doing is putting up where to purchase these little demonic things. The little nasty uh uh what do you call them? Germ carriers. They're like a petri dish for your face. They are like a petri dish for your face. That's exactly what they are. Put it on your face, you're going to get some bumps all around your mouth. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good, but that's what they are. But anyway, there were some rappers that were wearing masks at as early as 2014. Do you guys remember the video that I made where we were talking about that? And he wore the mask. Here it is. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Now this I can show y'all. This is easier than trying to pull up that other picture. Excuse me, you guys. Much easier. Yes, the Masked Singer was predictive programming. Is one of that's correct. It is. Most assuredly it is. So I'm going to take you guys here, and you may not even know who these rappers are, but I'm going to show them to you. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to show these rappers to you. You might know them and you might not know them. But right here, see that? Future. The rapper's name is Future. Let that soak in. Let that soak in. Let me go to the page. If it lets me go to the page, and let's see what it says. And what do you, okay, this was 2020. I don't want this one though. Look, the look of the future and daughter London matching. I think this is telling me what day I'm viewing this today. But let me go inside the body of the story and see, is it going to give me the date that this was done? Because if I remember correctly, this was, where is it? Okay. Here we go. This story was published at 1:46 Eastern, June 26 June 2017. And I know we had some trouble seeing the last time, so let me see if I can make this bigger this time. Oh no, not an advertisement. I certainly don't want to see one of those. But in any case, I digress. I don't want to see this. Not responding. Well, yeah, you can respond. All right, so here, look, you guys, I'm going to make it really big. I don't know what just happened, but what I do know is somebody doesn't want us to see that picture. And I'm glad that I did not show it, because as soon as that picture flicked over and I was trying to show you guys the thing about Future being muzzled with his daughter, then all of a sudden it just threw me literally off of my whole computer. Go figure. I don't understand it, but praise God, they ain't got to show me twice, honey. I'm not one of these people who gonna be martyred for nobody. Jesus did that, okay? The Most High sent Yeshua, and he did that. That ain't for me. But anyway, I think somebody is saying, Valiant One is saying the Daily Mail website is very demanding in bandwidth. Oh, phew. Thank you. Because all I could see was that picture. And I was like, oh, look, you guys, you can see the picture now. Isn't that amazing? Hit. Aw, thank you so much. I so appreciate you, Steve, for that. Thank you. Let me tell you the funny thing. We have somebody who dislikes every one of my videos, and I think it's the cutest thing. And I don't know who they are, but from the bottom of my heart, I just want to tell you thank you. You motivate me to do so much better. And as long as I get that thumbs down, it just makes me feel so good. So whoever you are, giving me that big old thumbs down, I crack up laughing at it, because I can just post. And as soon as I post, it'll say, posted 10 seconds ago or 30 seconds ago on your side, right? And then as soon as I look at it, it says 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute ago. It'll have one thumbs down, and the video will be like an 8-minute video. And I'll sit there just cracking up laughing. I'm like, this is so motivating, and I so appreciate it. So whoever you are, thank you. You are awesome. You really rock the Casbah. Yes. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to use the Daily Mail, but I will say that Future and his daughter, I think the safest place to try is probably going to be just showing the pictures of Future and his daughter. Did you see that? Yes, Aaron Jacobs. Yes, that was a sick mural. Then they took it down. Are you talking about, you're also speaking of the mural with Future and his daughter? Is that what you're talking about? David Smith, what did you say that slipped out? I got to check you. You must have said something bad if you being bad. You knew, and you being bad. Don't be bad. Don't be bad. G Hill, Future. Yeah, it was Future. But I honestly want to say that when Future did that, it was him and his daughter, and they had the masks on together. And so, being that they had the masks on together, that was 2017. But even before then, people wore masks, and they were sort of really blinged out, just like these are right here. And he actually wrote a song, has a song called Mask Off. I want you guys to see that video. Now, I cannot show it right now, but I will tell you that Future's song Mask Off is really something else. Because it's got, maybe I can just show you this little piece without showing you the piece. I think I can do that, because if I don't share it with the intent to play it or to distribute it or anything like that, I'm just going to do that 15-second thing. But I need you guys to see this, because this is what the young people were influenced by and what makes them so willing to pretty much just go along with the flow, because they were made to see this kind of stuff for quite some time. And so for them, it's okay. This is the video. It's by the rapper Future, and it's called Mask Off. 3 years ago, lines right up with the time of the photo that I just showed you guys. So the one that we saw before it jacked me. Oh, okay. Where's Waldo? The Fugees have the mask too. Okay, I'm going to pull that up next. But do you see that? That's 3 years ago. And obviously, while he was at the BET show with his daughter, that's exactly what they were obviously sharing. That's what they were doing. They were talking about the fact that he had this song. But the song Mask Off is pretty deep, because I listened to that song. I wrote the words down and I broke it all down. That's how I am. When my kids were younger and they will be listening to a crazy song, I would say, oh, hey, come here. Let me look at the lyrics of that song. And I would take the song itself and I would literally read to them. And I'm like, Mama, please stop. Stop it, Mama. I'm like, no, but you like this song. So come on, let's listen to it. And they could not take it. I mean, I'm sitting up there reading all. I like big butts and I cannot lie. I mean, I'm reading it all to them, just word for word, or they can't take it. But I'm like, wait a minute, but you're the one rocking it. You in there listening to it. You got the whole back of the house bumping it. And I can't read it to you. Why? I just like the music. I don't listen to the words. I just like the music. So Ad Unum Tristis says, Stropy on BitChute has the WTO records of the cough test kits being sold in 2018. Yes, they were. And I have that as well. But because I'm at the point that I got that, I was only a YouTuber. Now I have other platforms. Yeah. And it's actually, the WTO, it's actually the whole entire appendix. It's like showing you, it's like a big bill of lading showing, okay, Bob got 1,000 and Bob paid $1,000. And they were shipped and they'll soon be shipped on this day. This person got this many, this person bought that many. Yeah, it's a hot mess. It is a hot mess. But I used to do that to my kids. I used to listen to the songs that they were listening to. I would find the words, and after finding the words, I would read them to them verbatim. That particular song, Mask Off, is quite disturbing. So Ed Woodson says, I ain't wearing that bull feces. If I was sick, I would never put someone else in jeopardy. Okay, I'm 6'5", 230 pounds. And if they can make me, so be it. If I can see it, no vax either. I'm very good. Smart guy. You got to be able to stand up for yourself. And that is the truth. We remember, live as a free person, die as a free person, or the other option, live suppressed and die in captivity. Wow, that's a good one. I like that. That's a good one. Okay, Aaron Jacobs says, right, the beat got me. Yeah. Now I'm breaking down the whole meaning, mask off. Yes. Oh, man, I wish that we could play that. I really wish that we could play that. And I wish you guys would all go and listen to it now. For those of you who You know, you guys already know I love lots of different music. You know, I was a country DJ, so I worked at a country station. I worked at a Christian station. I worked at a rock station. Um, Obviously, I love classical music. You know, all that good stuff. So here's the point. I just want you guys to break the words down. And if you have to look for Mask Off with the lyrics, just so you can cut to the chase, look up Mask Off with the lyrics by Future. Mask Off with the lyrics by Future. And it was done in about 2017. Now, the beat, for those who like that beat, it is banging. I got to be honest, it's got a banging beat. But it's also sort of dark. Even though the beat is sort of, really like it's sort of catchy, toe tapping, it's very dark. It's very dark. And when you're listening to the beat, it's spiritually, it sort of makes you sort of uncomfortable. The beat gets the young people where they really want to be. And that's the reason why they make the beats the way that they do. Because they want the young people to be easily influenced by whatever the message is. And in this particular case, there are a couple of messages. I believe this is the one that had the child in the front of the video, just standing outside in the middle of the dark. And if you guys remember a while back, we showed a trailer of the dark-eyed children. And that one child was standing in the middle of the dark, talking to that man outside the car with the dark eyes. Do you guys remember that? Well, if you consider that, and then I want you to think about this video that I'm telling you about, and there's a child in the front of this video outside in the dark. There's something to it. There is something to it. I don't know what it is, but there's something to it. Yeah, there is something to it. Steve Willis, you have a good night. You have a good night. But there is something to it. You guys, I'm going to take Steve Willis's tip and I'm going to go to bed too. I love you guys. You guys sleep well, get some good rest, and have a super duper tomorrow. We are going to come back and finish reading up some of those Psalms so that, those people who come behind us and watch it, they'll have something to rest very peacefully with. I think tonight's was about 15 or 16 minutes. And the one before that was about maybe 20 minutes or whatnot. But it's getting late, you guys. And so I am going to take a tip from Steve and I'm going to go ahead and turn in. But you guys watch that video and you will see that they were setting the whole thing up before. But it's even more nefarious than that, you guys, because there is something about this darkness with the children. It's something about that. The dark with the children at night. I don't know what it is, you guys, but after you watch it, maybe you will know. And then thank you to everybody who sent us stories earlier. Those stories really did hit home for me because they all completed some of the fragmented stuff that I had that I didn't know what to do with. And now I do. So we know how to pray. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. You all be blessed and take care of one another. And remember what we always like to say whenever I can remember to say it, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High God. You guys take care, and I will see you all soon. Okay? Night, everybody. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping